Police in Albany County have announced that they will have an aggressive DWI blanket patrol through this weekend. The last DWI patrol on the 4th of July weekend netted 20 drunk drivers. And here to talk to us today about those patrols, as well as what happens after you get a DWI, is criminal defense attorney and former DWI prosecutor Thomas J. Carr. Thank you so very much for joining us.
No problem, Elaine.
We were just saying in the break that I think so many people now have paid attention to the mother, Mrs. Schuler, who was on the Taconic Parkway going the wrong way. And
Right.
we got some information this week that she had the equivalent of 10 drinks and I believe smoked marijuana. That's what they are alleging. And that's the extreme of what people can do and then get on the highway. But before that, something like that happens, these blanket patrols are to try and stop those kinds of things, try to catch drivers.
Yeah, that's correct. Albany County does a pretty good job of advertising in advance that they're going to have these patrols. However, inevitably, every time they have them, they seem to net somewhere around about 20 people each time.
Now, when people, like you said, it's advertised and they do this, and you, as a former prosecutor of this, what did you say to people when they got caught?
Well, I think what it boils down to is some people think that they're just not going to get caught, number one. And then, on the other hand, there's a lot of misinformation out there about how many drinks you can have, how much you can drink, and still be safe to drive. There's a lot of myths out there that people still believe in.
So what do you say to people when they ask, well then, you know, how many drinks can I have, or I can drink and I'm not drunk and I can still drive?
Right. Really, the only safe number is 0. If you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. It's just way too specific to the individual. Height, weight, age, body weight, when was the last time you had something to eat. These are all factors that contribute to what somebody's blood alcohol content is going to be.
What's the difference between a DWI and a DUI?
They're two names for the same thing. In New York, it's classified as a DWI, driving while intoxicated. In other states, they call it driving under the influence, but it amounts to the same thing. It's drunk driving. Now,
what happens to you when you are caught drinking while intoxicated? What's the legal process?
Well, what normally happens is if you're stopped by the police, they put you through some field sobriety tests there on the side of the road. They bring you back to the station and have you go through the breathalyzer. If the result from the breathalyzer shows that your blood alcohol content is 0.08 or more, you'll be arrested and charged with a DWI. You'll be brought before a judge and arraigned. At that point, the judge will move to suspend your license pending prosecution, and the case will progress through the courts from there. A DWI in most cases is a misdemeanor. However, if you do have priors, the DWI can be elevated to a felony.
Would you be surprised this weekend when they have the DWI that they have people that, even though we're advertising it and talking about it, that still drive and drink?
I think they'll probably get between 15 and 20 people again this weekend.
Okay. We'll end it there on those sobering words. We thank you so very much for joining us.
No problem.
And if you have any questions about today's broadcast or our guests, we would love to hear from you. Email us at midday@WNYT.com.